The sci-fi genre scored a hit with District 9. We'll review that and two other movies by innovative directors Quentin Tarantino and Wes Anderson. Also, we'll take a look at Sony Pictures' first attempt at an animated movie in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Welcome into this edition of the Red Hot Ticket. I'm your host, Josh Greenberg. We've got a lot of great movies to get to in this edition, so we'll start right away with our reviews. Peter Jackson gave director Neil Blomkamp $30 million to finance any project he wanted after the Halo movie fell through. The result was one of the best movies of 2009, District 9.
Now, to everyone's surprise, the ship didn't come to a stop over Manhattan or Washington or Chicago, but instead coasted to a halt directly over the city of Johannesburg. The doors didn't open for 3 months. It just hovered there. Nobody could get in. And they eventually decided, after much deliberation, that the best thing to do would be to physically cut their way in.
We're gonna need a drone down here.
We were on the verge of first contact. The whole world was watching.
Need some more light?
Expecting, I don't know, music from heaven and bright shining lights.
There's a lot of moisture in here. Good, just go slowly. Oh my God.
After a spaceship crash lands, or rather hovers, over the South African city of Johannesburg, recently appointed MNU agent Wikus Vandermeer, played by Sharto Copley, leads an operation to move the aliens, or prawns as they're referred to in the film, to an area that resembles a concentration camp. Unfortunately for Wikus, his lack of competence causes a life-changing event when he meets a rather intelligent prawn named Christopher Johnson, who's played by Jason Cope. Sci-fi isn't just for stories about aliens and outer space and mutants. Well, yeah, it's all those things, but it's also about how our society would react to these events. In a way, sci-fi is a social commentary when done right, and that is exactly what District 9 is.
MNU is trying to move the aliens for humanitarian reasons, but the real focus, just as it has been right from the beginning, is weapons. MNU is the second largest weapons manufacturer in the world. You know, we assumed that we'd be able to pick up the alien laser gun and just be able to shoot, but it didn't work like that. Because as we discovered, their technology is actually engineered in a biological manner and interacts exclusively with their DNA. So it just doesn't work with humans, and it's as simple as that.
Blomkamp based his movie off a short called Alive in Joburg, in which he explores the social interactions of aliens and the people of Johannesburg. He draws a direct parallel to how certain sects of people were treated in South Africa, his native country. Now, I don't pretend to know anything about that history, but Blomkamp gives me a great sense of what that was like. The best aspect of this movie was star Sharto Copley and his interaction with the character Christopher Johnson. Despite the disgusting appearance of the prawns, they built amazing chemistry between the two characters, which allows the audience to feel compassion for the aliens. What makes this more amazing is the fact that this is Copley's first acting role. He had no intentions of becoming an actor, but when he was placed in the short film by Blomkamp, he directed him in the lead in District 9. Now, if you can stomach the gore, there's a very interesting and relevant social commentary in this movie. I think that this is one of the best movies of 2009, and I give it 4.5 prawns out of 5. Quentin Tarantino was one of the most defining directors of the 90s. In his films in the 2000s, he's lost some of the original charm he injected in his earlier films. Inglourious Basterds looks to break that trend.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. Now, y'all might have heard rumors about the Armada happening soon. Well, we'll be leaving a little earlier. We're gonna be dropped into France, dressed as civilians. Once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing, and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Sound good?
Yes, sir!
Brad Pitt plays Lieutenant Aldo Rain, a simple Tennessee country boy who wants one thing: Nazi scalps. And his crazy crew, dubbed the Bastards, are really quite good at it. Hitler, who's shaking in his boots, decides to put out a film screening about the story of a great Nazi soldier in order to boost morale. That soldier, played by Daniel Bruhl, falls for a French theater owner named Shoshana, Melanie Laurent. He decides to persuade the Third Reich to relocate the film screening to her theater. Little does he know that the Bastards and Shoshana plan to disrupt the party. There are many great characters in this movie. The Bear Jew, who beats Nazis to a pulp with his wood bat, is definitely one that stands out. I also think that Brad Pitt is overlooked in his role. The scene where he tries to speak Italian in a thick country accent is one of my favorite moments of the year. The performance to watch, though, in this movie is that of Christopher Waltz, who plays an SS officer named Colonel Hans Landa, and is affectionately nicknamed the Jew Hunter. Waltz's interpretation of the character is absolutely brilliant. He opens the movie with a somewhat slow scene, but I urge you to pay attention to him the rest of the movie. It might take 2 viewings to fully appreciate what he brings to the role, but he brings a sort of playful glee to the character that is more narcissistic than it is evil. He adds much more dimension to this role than what is commonly added in other Nazi movies.
Now, if one were to determine what attribute the German people share with a beast, it would be the cunning and the predatory instinct of a hawk. But if one were to determine what attributes the Jews share with the beast, it would be that of the rat. If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it with a source of your delicious milk?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. You don't like them. You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive. Consequently, a German soldier conducts a search of a house suspected of hiding Jews. Where does the hawk look? He looks in the barn, he looks in the attic, he looks in the cellar, he looks everywhere he would hide. But there's so many places it would never occur to a hawk to hide. However, the reason the Führers brought me off my Alps in Austria and placed me in French cow country today is because it does occur to me. Because I'm aware what tremendous feats human beings are capable of once they abandon dignity.
Nearly every performance in this movie is spot on, from Pitt to Waltz to even B.J. Novak, who plays a smaller role. I only wish that I would have gotten more of them. I give this movie 4.5 wooden bats out of 5.